Hi, my name is Korede, a filmmaker, podcast producer, and all-round storyteller. My guest today needs no introduction, so let's jump right into it. Actually, I should tell you a bit about him first. Diji Aderogba started his filmmaking journey in 2016 after graduating from Mainframe Film and Media Institute, owned by the legendary Tunde Kelani. In 2020, Diji's documentary, Hidden Euphoria, was nominated for the category of Best Documentary at the AMVCAs. And in May 2021, his debut feature film, About a Boy, won the Audience Choice Award at Nollywood Film Week in Paris, France. Diji is respected for his work, building a strong Twitter community of over 19,000 followers. Yep, I want to be like him when I grow up. Diji, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going on? Thank you for having me.
Fine. I'm very sure that most people listening to this podcast already know who you are. But for the benefit of those, for the benefit of those who don't know, I would like you to tell us a bit about yourself in your own words.
Okay, so my name is Diji Aderogba. I am a Nigerian filmmaker, basically like a director, a writer, and I have passion for filmmaking, and thank God I'm in the line right now doing what I love, which is directing and writing. So yeah, that pretty much sums me up.
Why the heck did you decide to become a filmmaker? Because you and I know this is not how people normally get rich. So what exactly was it that made you decide to, get into the industry?
So I feel like, when I was very young, I grew up in a place where like a lot of traditional performance, and I saw a lot of performances from dancers, masquerades and all that. And I felt like, to me that time they were so fascinating and I loved what I saw. Not till I started like watching home videos. And then I remember that day I was watching a film curated by TK. And I told myself that, man, that sparked this curiosity in me. That was not the first film I saw, but I loved what I saw, from language to film. So in my mind, I was curious. I was like, how is it that these people, like, how do they make this film? Like, who is in charge telling them, oh, do this, do that? Who tells them what to do? And I started like watching a lot of TK films while growing up. And that was how I started. That was how I started my filmmaking. It was just more of to me, it wasn't like I grew up or like I wanted to do something else before like moving to films. Nah, to me, it was filmmaking right from time. Even though I didn't know what filmmaking was, like detailed, but I knew that yes, I was going to be a film person. And while growing up, I used to like call a few of my friends, I tell them, oh, so that time when they give me food, sometimes I won't eat. So I call a few of my friends, oh, Larry, come and do something, like do this, do that. And if they do it well, I usually like give them my food.
Wow.
Yeah, so I already, right from time I knew I was going to be a film person, and then when I was in secondary school, I was doing film. I was a very creative person. Like I was in charge of mock news, drama, and all that. And fortunately, I wanted to study mass communications, but I wasn't given mass communication. I was given English, And then when I was in school, I decided I wanted to do literature because it was very easy for me creatively. Like I was very fast in creating scenes, creating imaginations in my head. So it was easy. It was very easy for me to decide that, yes, I was going to make films. And when I got back from NYC, that was when I now said to myself that, well, I've been texting a lot of people, I've been messaging a lot of people to help me, but since I wasn't getting any reply, why not? Why not start something? So I remember I wrote a 2 or 3 page script, and then I called a friend of mine who is a DP, Dami, and I called a friend of mine who is also an actor. And, we acted it out, we filmed it, we directed it. I remember that night, I slept well, because it felt like, yes, I've started the journey.
Is that film online?
Yeah, it's online. Victim is a short film on rape and domestic violence.
Mm.
You know, till now, like I feel like, well, why I've not removed it on YouTube? But whenever I go back to YouTube and I watch some of the videos and all the videos I made while growing or while starting out, they're still on my YouTube, just for one reason, to know and to measure my growth, you know. So that was how filmmaking started. So it wasn't like, yeah, maybe while I was very young, I used to think, oh, I wanted to be a lawyer and all that, but early stage, I knew I was going to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that, yes, by God's grace, we are trying right now. So that's it.
I mean, I find that very interesting because, I mean, someone like me, for instance, even though when I look back into my childhood, I see where the interest came from. I can trace how it started. But for a long time, I was confused about what I wanted to do with my life. I went around and around and around before I finally came, to this filmmaking thing. And my proper filmmaking journey didn't start until like 2019, which was what, 2 years ago. Which is weird.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, it's really nice to hear about the story behind the brand because I mean you're a
Thank you.
brand right now, and
Well, yeah.
yeah, you are. And I mean, for a lot of people, at least I know that I'm really curious about it. But when you started, when you started out on Twitter, because I think Twitter is your biggest platform, right?
Yeah.
What exactly was it that fueled your growth on Twitter?
So I feel like right from time, I've always been a social media person. Right from Facebook time, you know, like I had like 4 or 5 accounts. They were like 5K followers, in fact 5K friends, and you know, I couldn't even like like I at some point I was just having like different accounts, you know, and I felt like, so from time I've been a social media person. So when I got on Twitter, I knew, okay, why I was on Twitter. I wasn't on Twitter for any other thing. I was just on Twitter for networking. And right from time, it has always been my favorite. I'm a very shy person. So when I'm not working, when I'm not out working, I'm always on social media. I'm always on YouTube, you know, like trying to get what is happening and also trying to like feed myself and also trying to explore and, you know, promote myself. You know, I think I'm my, you know, like I'm my biggest promoter, you know, so it's something that I knew what I wanted to use for Twitter, you know. So right from time, it has always been my thing. And I've made a lot of people, I've connected with a lot of people, networked with a lot of people, and I'm still doing so. So I feel like it's easy for me to say yes, Twitter has really helped me. Social media, basically, IG also, yeah, but more of Twitter.
Yeah, but when you say networking, how do you go about that?
Mm.
Do you like try to find people who are in your industry, send them DMs and stuff? What's your approach?
Yeah, so the thing is, I, I, I don't know. I was, you know, at some point when I started, I DM'd a few people, but since I didn't get like replies, you know, I just started doing my stuff. You know, I just started replying stuff on timeline. Sometimes I DM, but most times it's just timeline bounce. You know, but you know, people started like people started giving attention when they started seeing some of my work. You know, like I'm the kind of person that if I do a project, I put it online. You know, I talk about it for days. You know, just to make sure that yes, when people hear the name DG outside Twitter or on Twitter, they immediately think that, oh, he's a filmmaker, he does this. So it's more of, you know, and then I'm very good. People call it farming, but you know, sometimes you have to farm like very wisely. So, you know, like sometimes when I speak to people that I've never spoken with, like I've never talked to, the way I even approach them, only an insane person will not reply. Or only somebody that maybe you didn't see it. Because I don't reply you like I'm trying to get favor from you. I reply you like, yes, I also have something to offer. You understand? So it's, yeah. And I mean, Twitter has helped me. The first opportunity I had on, okay, the second opportunity I had on a feature film set was, you know, Steve Cougars. You know, he saw apparently he had been following my work. So when he wanted to make Living in Bondage, he DM'd me. Although I DM'd him while I was on set of Jade Oshibero's film. So I DM'd him and he knew he had seen some of my work via AMVCAs when he was in Nigeria, because I met him. And I mean, that already like gave him an idea of who I was, so it was easy for him to invite me over and say, okay, fine, come on board. So social media has really like helped me, and I'm grateful, so yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think one thing I've actually learned from you is that idea of when you do something, just make noise about it. Because I mean,
Yeah.
you say you're a shy person, but I think your shyness has levels, because some of us are shy and we are shy on social media as well. You
No,
know,
I'm not. I'm
yeah,
very loud on social media, because I mean,
yeah,
I'm just in my room. Nobody can see me. But once I step out, that's a big one for me.
fantastic.
Mm.
So, about a boy, your first feature film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm curious about like the entire process from let's take it from how you got to that point. First off,
Mm-hmm.
was it something that the producer approached you about? How is it that you came to make that film?
Yeah. So the thing is, like I said too, I met Kayode online. Kayode Kazim. I met him online. Apparently, he's a big fan of my work, and I'm also a big fan of his work. And I mean, he's been seeing some of my work, and he respects me a lot. He respects what I do. He likes my work as much as I love his work also. So I remember that day I was just in my room, and he called me. He's like, "Did you also? I have like a project, and I'm not available, and I want you to come in." For someone, and for someone that has not seen me work, and for someone that has not uh, met me or know me very, very, very well before, to call me. So I'm like, okay, fine, send me the script. And when I saw the script, I had not even read up to 10 pages. I called him back. I said, yeah, I'm interested because I loved what I saw or what I read. And, I spoke with the producers, and they're like, oh, okay, fine, that I should come on board. That was how we filmed About a Boy. There was I I wasn't part of the whole process of pre-production. The only thing I did was I spoke to Coyote, and I spoke to with the producers, and that was it. Yeah. So,
So how
and we thank God for what it has done. Yeah, the outcome has been so nice. Yeah.
so between when you got that phone call and when you got on set, how long was that?
Ah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will tell you this off podcast.
Wahala.
I because yeah, because I don't want people to see it as, oh, it's a normal thing to do. If you're not, and I'm grateful for God and for my creative level. If you're not somebody that is very creative or very fast, or you wouldn't have taken that job. So that's
But
the only thing I'll say. I mean,
But the thing is, yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm asking these questions is for people who are filmmakers who are looking to make their first feature film, for them to learn from your experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's fine. So,
exactly. So, I mean, you said you are not part
mhm.
of the pre-production process. So, what exactly did you
No, I
do?
wasn't part of.
What exactly did you do, like, to prepare yourself between when you got the phone call and when you got on set?
So when I read the script, what I did was, when I read the script, I tried to understand. Unfortunately, it's not a script, or it's not a story with a lot of characters. I mean, just like 6 or 7 characters, and I was able to understand each of them. So what I did was, after understanding my character, I created like a treatment, you know, and I shared it with Coyote, and fortunately, Coyote had the same thought and the same picture. So it was easy for me to just go ahead and say, yes, I understand this, because if I got the script at that stage, and I did a treatment that was almost equal to what somebody that has been working on the production did, I feel like I've tried enough. I feel like I've tried enough. So it was just that way for me.
What else? What else did you do?
Hmm?
Apart from the treatment,
I spoke with the actors. I spoke with the actors to understand
by that time they
what
had
they
already
what they
been cast,
understand.
right?
Yeah, of course. Chimeze and Olumide and Fumi. So it was. I mean, Chimeze is my good friend. So it was easy for me to just pick up my phone, and we talked over the phone, and we understood each other. And when I spoke with them, I knew that okay, yeah, I mean, just go ahead. And fortunately, I met Cine, who shot the film a few days before that project. So it was very easy for myself and my DP to, kickstart everything. Yes, and get along.
All right.
It was a lot of work within the short period of time, but because of the zeal and because, my first feature film, so I just wanted to just like give it all. I didn't mind what I was going to, go through and all that. I just wanted to like make sure that yes, I can look back and say yes, this is my first feature film, and I did it well, and I achieved that through the grace of God.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. Talking more
yeah.
about your conversation with the actors, what was that like? So for a director who is going to be working with actors on a feature film set for the first time, how do they engage with the actors before they get on set?
The thing is, when you read as a director, when you read a script, I don't know how it works for people, but when I read a script, automatically I see the scenes playing out. I see my characters playing out. I see light. I see everything in my head already. So I already imagined that, okay, fine, Dari, who is Dari? How does Dari look? How does he behave? Like, do I have friends that behave like Dari? Do I have like family members that behave like Dari? Do I have like enemies that behave like Dari? Like what I do is I try to like imagine a whole lot so that I can fit Dari into a character with one or two different kind of like behaviors. So when I read the script, it was very easy for me to convey or to tell my actors what I want to achieve with their character. And I'm blessed, or I was blessed, or yeah, I'm blessed to have like good actors. I mean, I didn't even meet Olumide till his first day on set. So what I usually do is when I get on set, a set where I have not spoken with my actor, what I do is I take a break and I sit them down. We talk. Okay, fine. What do you think about your character? Like, how do you see your character? Okay, this is what I think. This is what you think. Okay, give me this, and then we can add this, and we can subtract this. So that's how I've always done my stuff.
But
And it has worked for me, and I'm happy.
it starts with you knowing exactly what you want.
The thing is, I don't think you can direct an actor without you knowing the kind of character you want to bring out of the actor. It's not possible, because I'm reading a script and I want to bring out a tout, I want to bring out a tout from that script and give it to someone like an actor. What I do is I already know the kind of tout I want to bring out of that story to give to that actor. So what the actor needs to do is now like understand my vision and my picture of that tout person that I've brought out to give him or her. So yeah, so that's it. That's it.
Did you create like character bibles?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't write it down, but I knew, like I said, I knew what I wanted to make out of my characters. Yeah.
How about a shortlist? Did you have time to do one?
So the thing is, I usually don't use shortlist every time.
Okay.
Especially I usually don't use shortlist. What I do is when I create my treatment, I create like a detailed treatment.
Okay.
So yeah, when I have the time, I create shortlist. But most times, I don't.
When you say a detailed treatment, so that area, the look and feel part of it, I mean, because I'm trying to imagine
feel
how.
the style of filmmaking, the angles. Sometimes, like, okay, how I want somebody's world to be, how I want. And when I'm talking about cinematography, I talk about, okay, I want more of handheld, I want more of, tight shots to bring out emotions. All those things are just like things that when a DP reads, they already understand what you're doing. So that's it. That's why it's very important for you to work with somebody that you know. And most times, even if you're not working with somebody that you really know, it's just to have a conversation. It's just to have a conversation.
So once you have
I'm
that,
not saying shortlist is not good, but
yeah.
Sometimes I don't have time to.
Yeah, of course. I
do
mean,
that.
one has to be able to adapt. There's no one way to do anything. So, so once you have your detailed treatment, right? It's usually enough. Like once you communicate to your DP and stuff, usually enough so that even without a shortlist, you guys can work fast and work,
Yeah.
well and everything. All right. All right, that's fantastic.
Maybe let's say maybe when we talk about shortlist, a lot of people talk about the spreadsheet and all that. But what I do is when I read my script, I have my phone very close to me, so I type in my notes. Okay, scene one, a shot of Korede coming into the room, a shot of. So I don't type on my laptop. What I do is I just where I have to so that I won't forget some kind of creative shot in my head. So I just bring out my phone and notes, da 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 da, and then that's it. So when I'm on set, I go back to check, and that's it.
Oh, you're trying. Once I'm on set like this, like I don't remember my phone. Like if I don't have
No,
my
you
things
don't.
printed, it's a problem.
If you don't remember your phone I don't use once I'm on set, I don't use my phone for social media. But I mean, I know that I've written something in my notes on my phone, so I have to go back to check.
All right, brilliant. So, what do you think was your biggest advantage during production when you were filming About a Boy?
The fact that I understood the story very well. I understood the story from point A to Z.
And why?
Like I understand the story because I read the story and I paid attention. That's me. Once the story is good, I work. If the story is not good, I'll tell you I can't work on your project. So I read the story and I told you, like, I didn't finish the story before I said, "Oh, I'm interested," because I'm a conscious filmmaker. I like to create like awareness. I like to make conscious films. So when I read it, it's a mental health story, and in my mind already, I understood this. I understood it. So aside from understanding the story, the group of people we were all like young and hungry to make a film. So it was easy for everybody to do their work without disturbing one another. So it was a friendly atmosphere all through.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
On the flip side, what do you think was your biggest disadvantage?
I didn't have any.
Aha, that's good.
I didn't have any at all.
Was that
I
because?
enjoyed myself all through.
Oh, wow, that was amazing. Was that because you had a very good team, or you were very confident, or was it like a
Yeah,
combination of
I
everything?
had a very good. I mean, the thing is, when I'm working, once I have a very good team, that's it. I don't really worry about anything. So I had a team like I had a team where like friends. I met a few people for the first time. In fact, the only person I knew on set very well before the set time was the DP and the sound recordist. But it was very easy like I said, it was very easy for everybody to get along because we were young and hungry to make films. So I didn't have any advantage. I didn't have anyone at all.
All right, brilliant. So I know that before that film, you had made a number of short films, but was there anything new that you learned, about yourself?
Yeah, because it's different when you make a short film. It's different from making a feature film. So I would say that time it was more like reassurance that yes, I knew what I was doing. And also again, my creativity was stretched out because on a normal day, short film is just our short films, just 5, 10, 15 pages, 20 pages.
Yeah.
And right now I was filming almost like 100 pages. So I stretched myself, the time, the creative level, and I just felt like, yes, I'm ready for this. Like, this is what I want to do. No backing off. So.
And I totally get that whole stress level thing, because while I was making my feature film, I was like, oh my God, why do I have to make so many decisions every day? It was so stressful. My God.
You have to make decisions,
Yeah.
decisions. Everybody is counting on you. If anything
Yeah.
is wrong on set, you just hear director, 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 director. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But of course,
It's
it's an
not easy,
amazing
but
experience.
that's the job. That's
Yeah.
the job description. You just have to, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't have all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Speaking of
you're
time,
gonna
how many
make it.
days did you shoot?
We shot for 7 days. No, was it 7 days? No, we shot for 5 days.
5 days. Wow.
Shot for
And
5 days, yes.
you had how many scenes?
I can't remember, but we were shooting like, even I feel like, or I feel like we didn't have enough days, but we didn't rush. That, to me, that set is still one of the best set I've ever been on. Like, we didn't rush, and we're not missing anything. We didn't rush. Like, there was like no pressure, nothing. We were just filming, and we're filming very well.
What do you think made that set like that? Because I know that a lot of sets, especially when you have
It's very
time
simple.
pressure, it's
It's the
chaotic.
fact that we were young and we just wanted to make a film. Like, nobody did it with a form. Oh, I said, Nami be director, or Nami be DP. No, everybody did their work. Everybody did their work. Everybody did their work, and they did it so well. I mean, we are seeing the results. So
Yeah.
yeah. So everything was good.
It boils down
Everything
to
was
the
good.
team and motivations, right?
Yeah. And knowing what you really want. If I didn't understand the story, if I didn't understand what I wanted, no, I won't be that fast, because I'll be struggling to like decide, to do this and all that. But each night before the next day, what I do is I read my script in and out, just to understand what I'm going to face the next day, So, and I always like to create options in my head. Like, if this one is not working, this one has to work.
Aha.
So
You have dropped two gems now. First one is read your scripts every night before the next day's work, and the second one you dropped was
having options.
yeah, exactly, having options, because the truth is, the movie that you make in your head when you're reading the script for the first time is not a movie that you're going to make on set, because
Of course.
I mean, you go there and then variables are different. This is the angle I wanted to shoot from, but I can't shoot from this angle again because so I have to so you have to be able to flip as needed.
Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Now, even though your set sounds like it was a dream, but was there anything at all that went wrong? Or was it just perfect?
Honestly, I feel like if you ask anybody that worked on that set, they will still be saying the same thing I'm saying now. Nothing. Like, nothing. I'm not even trying to sound perfect or anything. Like, nothing. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet, but I feel like I'm a very cool person. I don't have stress. All I just want to do is work and get the work done. I don't say, no, I get the work done. I don't create a bad vibe. Like, anybody can talk to me on set. Anybody. So the thing is, I always try to create like a family, and it has always been the way on my first set, second set, my, till my last set. Anybody that has worked with me, if you ask them, they will tell you. So it's always because these people are working with me. They are working to bring my vision alive. So there's no time to create any kind of boss level and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always like a family stuff to me.
Yeah.
All the set so it's not just about a boy. All the set.
So
All
tell
the
me
sets.
more.
I've
Tell me
worked
more about how you do that. How you create that sense of family on set. How do you do that?
Okay. So the thing is, I'm a very cool person, like I said. I don't have stress. So anything that will give me stress or anything that will give my crew members stress, I don't let it happen because if they are stressed, I'm stressed. So I just feel like for the kind of person that I am, like I said, if you've met me, or if you've worked with me, when I'm on set, I work as friends to everybody. If there's a problem with makeup, I go there. If there's a problem with costume, I go there. Light, I know all these things. So I always want to like make everybody feel like, yes, we are doing the right thing. We are doing, even if things are not going the same way, or even if things are not going the way we planned or the way we want it to go. I always just try to create this atmosphere that yes, everything is fine. I don't know how to explain it, but that is just the kind of person I am. I'm not a diva kind of director. I know that's the last thing I would do.
You try to keep your crew motivated. You try to keep it on the positive notes. Keep everybody on the positive note all through. All right.
I mean, I'm that kind of person, but Steve Kruger has also taught me a lot.
What was it that you learned from him on that front?
He's a very kind, nice, calm person.
Yeah.
Friendly person.
I can't.
So if you're working with somebody with so much achievement, and the person is like that, so why do you want to kill yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you learn, and that's also, and I feel like I also learned a lot like that from my dad. I mean, so rest in peace. So yeah, I feel like it's just So he was a very calm person. He didn't take anything to heart or anything. So I feel like that's the kind of person I am when I'm on set and when I'm even off set.
So About a Boy, when can we watch it? I beg. I'm dying to see this.
Definitely, About a Boy will drop this year, maybe first quarter of this year by God's grace.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Where is it going to be on?
Yeah. I don't know yet. My producers are working on that, but definitely not cinema.
Okay, no wahala. We're waiting, definitely on our watch list. To wrap up our conversation, we're going to do a rapid fire round. So I'm going to mention one word, and then you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Okay.
Netflix.
Film.
YouTube.
Tutorials.
Best movie ever.
Queen of Cattle.
Best screenplay.
Really Love.
Did you say Real Love?
Really Love. Yeah, is a film on Netflix.
Okay.
It's very nice.
Fantastic. Popcorn.
Cinema.
Finally, TV versus film.
Man, film is my first love.
Thank you so much for your time, for having this chat with me. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Tukorede. I mean, it's nice doing this with you also.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what you'll do this year, bigger than next year.
I'm looking forward to seeing everything we are doing by God's grace, and I'm looking forward to seeing your feature film also. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Hopefully that should be out this year anyway. And that's it for this episode. Had to keep it short so Diji could go have dinner. Thank you for listening. Before you go, please take a screenshot of this podcast and share it on social media. Share the link on Twitter. Share with your friends and family who are filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We hope to see you on Instagram. Our handle is @theafricanfilmmaker. If you'd like to connect with me, my handle is @Korede. Tweet at me and let me know what you thought of this episode. My Twitter handle is @IamKorede. And please rate and review this podcast to help other people find it. Meanwhile, have you watched Diji's show, Ghana Jollof? If you haven't, check it out on Showmax. Check the show notes for links to his work. And if you want to watch his short films, I have included links to his work in the show notes. Yes, I know he doesn't need any more followers, but You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Director Diji.